Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Varun Jain, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Sage University. Today we will discuss basics of IR spectroscopy. First, we will get to know what is IR spectroscopy. So IR spectroscopy, or we can say that infrared spectroscopy, it deals with the infrared region of electromagnetic spectrum. That means light which is having longer wavelength than visible light, but lower frequency than visible light. Okay, so infrared spectroscopy generally refers to the analysis of interaction of molecules with infrared light. So actually what happens was, when infrared light gets through any molecules, the bonds of that molecules vibrates, rotates, or stretch accordingly. So this is what infrared spectrophotometer looks like. It is a device which carries a sample tube, IR source, and a computer monitor attached to it, which shows the desired results. So IR spectroscopy concept can be generally be analyzed in three ways. That is, by measuring the reflection of IR spectrum, emission of IR spectrum, or absorption of IR light through a molecule. So the major use of infrared spectroscopy is to determine the functional group of molecules, which is relevant to both organic or inorganic chemistry. That means if by infrared spectroscopy, we can find the functional group of a molecule which can be used for further applications. That we will discuss later in the slide. So what is IR spectroscopy? So an IR spectrum is generally a graph which is plotted with the infrared light absorbed on the y-axis is frequency, and on x-axis the wavelength of light. So when a infrared radiation moves through the molecule or our sample, the IR gets absorbed. In the absorption, the graph of absorbance is plotted on the y-axis, while the wavelength which has been absorbed is plotted on the x-axis. So how that graph looks like, we will discuss in the next slide. So further moving on, IR spectroscopy detects the frequency of infrared light that have absorbed by a molecule. Molecule tends to absorb these specific frequencies of light since they correspond to the frequency and vibrations of bonds in the molecules. And that these vibrations are recorded in the form of graphs. So this is actually what graph is look like. So we can say that on the x-axis, we can say here we can denote the wavelength of light. It is 4,000 nanometer, 3,000 nanometer, 2,000 nanometer, 1,500. We will see the absorber. And on the y-axis, we can see this is the wavelength. Sorry, frequency. This is the frequency which is get absorbed by the molecules. And these are the peaks which shows the absorption, emission, or transmission band, by which we can detect which functional group is present in the compound. So, what is infrared spectrum? So as we know, this in the spectrum of light, it contains ultraviolet rays, visible rays, and infrared radiation. From 0 to 300 nanometers, we can say it is merely made up of ultraviolet spectrum. From 300 to 700, we can say it is merely visible spectrum in which we can see. And from 700 nanometers to above, it is called infrared radiations. So most of the functional groups are found in this region is from 4,000 centimeter inverse to 1,300 centimeters inverse. Their band can be identified and used to determine the functional group of an unknown compound. If the compound is unknown and it is exposed to IR radiation, it absorbs the radiation, vibrates to a specific frequency, and gives the graph on the computer screen, which can be further elucidated to find which kind of functional group is present in the compound. So the bands of each molecule is unique, like a fingerprint of human beings. Like no two human beings can share same fingerprints. Similarly, no two molecules can vibrate in the same way. They cannot show the same kind of a band. So that means their region of absorbance is very much unique, and which is specific to a single molecule. And we can say that these bands are commonly used to compare the spectra of from one compound to another. So how the samples can be prepared for infrared spectroscopy. So any kind of samples we can make and prepare for infrared spectroscopy. It can be solid, it can be liquid, or it can be gas. For solid samples, it is prepared by crushing the sample with annealing it. It is a compound which has a oily texture. A thin layer of that meal is applied to a salt, and this salt has been applied to a spectroscopy plate, and it has been exposed to infrared region. Likewise, the liquid samples are generally kept between the two plates. It is for easier understanding, we can say we can mix our sample to a salt which can be sodium chloride, calcium chloride, or even potassium bromide, because haloalkanes are transparent to IR spectrum. So we can mix with this salt, and by a flat pellet maker or by hydraulic press, we can make a pellet, and that pellet can be kept to IR spectrophotometer for testing purposes. So if this, we will now coming to instrumentation of IR spectroscopy. This is what the working of IR spectroscopy looks like. So what are the components that in IR spectrophotometers are made up of? So the instrumentation of infrared spectroscopy, the beam of IR light from a source is split into the two parts and passed to a reference and our sampling unit respectively. It happens from, we can say that if from IR source, light has been passed this way and it is split it to the two parts. Then this IR is passed through a reference which we already know, and it is passed through a sample whose functional groups we want to know and made pass through these two tubes. And this IR beam is sent to a splitter and then to a detector. What detector do? We will discuss in the next slide. So likewise, now both these beams are reflected to pass through a splitter and then through a detector. Finally, the required reading is printed out after the processor dissipates the data passed through the detector. So detector, this unit will get the change in the IR light or the bands of the IR which have been absorbed by detected by this detector, and these results are sent to the computer monitor screen, which shows the graph which we have been studied earlier in the earlier slides. Now, what are the applications of spectroscopy? By what kind of test and what kind of results we will get after getting the sample to IR spectroscopy? So, identification of functional group and structure elucidation. For example, if you don't know what kind of functional group and what are the structure of the compound which we are having, and we are having a test sample, so we can easily know what kind of functional groups are present in that particular sample. We can, second one is identification of substances. By this IR spectroscopy, we can find what kind of substances are present in our sample. Third one, the studying the progress of reaction. Suppose if a reaction consists of three parts, A, B, and C, then how to know if the reaction reaches to stage B or C? Then that kind of progression of reaction can be studied through IR spectroscopy. Then detection of impurities. Suppose if our sample contains impurities and we are unable to see it with our eyes, then we can see it through IR spectrophotometer, whether if any impurity is present in our sample or not. The third one is quantitative analysis. That means the sample which we are presenting, how much assay we have prepared in that sample, whether the required yield has been achieved or not. These all things can be achieved by IR spectroscopy. Thank you. Keep